All right, some very interesting news is popping up lately about Obama and the Catholic Church. Now, for years, I've studied Bible prophecies about the Antichrist and about the great whore or prostitute in the book of Revelation. If you read the book of Revelation, the Bible states that a great politician of evil, a great evil politician, can you use that same word? Or an evil politician who will think himself great, shall arise up in the last days, who is totally wicked, totally given over to the devil, and to set up a one world government. But also at the same time, there will be a religious institution that will also be in existence at the time of the end that will work with the Antichrist, and then they're going to hate each other and fight each other, and the Antichrist will destroy this religious institution, a political religious institution that has great wealth, great influence for hundreds and thousands of years. Can you think of anybody like that? Can you think of any religious organization that has great wealth, that has great political influence on the whole planet, and that has been in existence for a long time? Okay, yes, I think so too. Daryl, what are you thinking about? Well, hey, if you've seen my videos, I think, we think together. If you've seen my videos, you know that I think that Obama is the Antichrist, right? The Antichrist, this politician that sets up a one world government and a one world currency, the Bible predicts him to arise in the last days and to take over the planet with a government and with a currency through technology, where people won't be able to buy or sell or do commerce except through some kind of electronic currency. All right, now this didn't exist. This technology did not exist not too long ago, right? And when I was in high school, I'm not that old, but when I was in high school, there was no ATM machines. There was no DVD players. The computers took up, one computer took up an entire room. And throughout, I guess, grade 12, 11, and 12, when I went to school, the computers shrunk down to the size of a little bigger than we had right now, a desktop, but they didn't have any windows. It was all computer language programs. So if you didn't know how to speak the computer language, and all the students signed up for computer language. Remember all those computer classes? Because they taught you how to work on a computer, because there was not really any Windows back then. I remember buying a cheap computer because I wanted to do a term paper in college, and this is probably early 90s, and I went to Radio Shack, and I bought a glorified typewriter. That's what a computer was back then, a glorified typewriter, and you didn't have to use your whiteout on electric typewriter. You know what whiteout is? When you made a mistake on a typewriter back in the dinosaur days, you would have to use a sheet of white paper, a whiteout sheet, a correction sheet, and put it right on the paper, and use the typewriter to erase it by having it strike this white paper. Anyways, archaic. And so computers had just come out, and so what I used it for, basically what most people used it for back then, was just typing papers. And it was amazing because you could backspace and delete, and you wouldn't have to use the old dinosaur typewriters. It was amazing, but I mean, nothing like today. So even back in the early 90s, and what is that, 90s to 2000, that's like just over 20 years ago, the technology stunk. Was not there for a world leader to take over the planet through technology, through microchips, from what we have today. In a period of 20 years, the whole world has changed right before our very eyes. My God in heaven, when I went to high school, basically just before my graduation, grade 12, I don't remember having microwaves in the house. We never had, it's amazing what we have today. when VHS players, what's that? When they came out, nobody had them that I knew, except I think my cousin got one, and we went over to his house. Yes, there was airplanes. Yes, yes. We went over to hit my cousin's house to, yeah, watch him put this strange little VHS tape in a machine and play a movie. Oh my God in heaven. I mean, that's just 20 years ago. And then from there, boom, 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 technology changed overnight, doubled and doubled and doubled and doubled. The Bible says in the last days, you will know it's the last days by the increase of knowledge. The book of Daniel states that. So, getting back to the Antichrist, getting back to the great institution, prostitute, the religious institution that shall be around at the time of the Antichrist. Now, the Bible calls these two entities, these two beings, one the Antichrist, a politician, a man, an evil man rising up as a dictator in the last days to take over the planet with a one world government and a one world currency. Now, the other institution is a religious institution that has great political influence on the earth. These two beings, these two monsters, I call them, really wreak havoc on the earth, are really bad for the planet and have been bad. Now, the Antichrist is a recent figure that has been raised up, the son of the devil, to really control the planet. And this religious institution, I'll just tell you, I think the religious institution, the great whore, the great prostitute, as outlined and explained in the Bible, is the Catholic Church. There is no other institution in my mind, in my research, that I've ever seen on the planet right now existing that has the money and the political influence as the Catholic Church does. Daryl, are you saying that all Catholics are evil? No. But I'm saying that the Bible describes a religious political institution in the last days as the great whore, the great prostitute that shall arise together in prominence on the earth over the nations until the Antichrist gets fed up with her, okay? And then he attacks her and destroys her, probably nuclear. Daryl, yeah. That's why I'm so interested when these articles are popping up here. Yes, I believe Obama is the Antichrist, and I do believe that the great whore of Revelation that's going to get destroyed by the Antichrist is the Catholic Church. And you can read, I'm going to go over some scriptures here. You can read along with me and you can study it for yourself. Now, the interesting thing is I saw these articles today about Obama and the Catholic Church. Front page internet, right? Who reads the newspaper anymore, right? Front page internet. But on this article here and different articles, just go look on the web right now. You can see the Catholic Church is butting heads strongly with war. Here's the headline. Now you tell me if this is not strange. Catholic League poised to go to war with Obama. The Catholic Church, Roman Catholic Church, goes to war with Obama over Obama's law, his mandatory birth control payments. Do you know what I'm talking about here? If you go to newyork.cbslocal.com, it's basically CBS article here. This is as of February 6, 2012. It says New York Catholic leaders up the ante Monday, threatening to challenge the Obama administration over a provision of the new health care law that will require all employers, including religious institutions, a law here by Obama requiring all employers, including religious institutions. Let me scroll down here. So Obama and the Catholic Church are butting heads, going to war, this article says, which is very strange wording. But it reminded me of the scriptures in the book of Revelation. Now let me read some of this, more of this article to you, if my computer will allow it. Here, come on. It says here, well, actually, the league leader, Donahue, says 70 million of his voters, the Catholic voters, are ready to alter the presidential election. 70 million of his voters. Now, just on a side note right here, you have to realize that I don't care if you have 100 million, 200 million Catholics voting. Did you know that the computer system for the voting is all rigged? So even if Obama didn't get the majority of votes to win the presidency, the computers will give him the presidency. Do you realize that? So when the Catholic League says that, hey, we're going to alter the presidential election, you're not going to alter any election because the election's already been rigged before they vote. I'll tell you that right now. You got independent companies now buying or overseeing the election process in America, and they can turn it any way they want. Did you know? Go look up some information on Obama about him actually not winning the Democratic election over his party, that Obama really didn't have enough votes to win the Democratic nomination when he ran, but they gave it to him anyways. Go look that up. It says the new health care law would require all employers, including religious institutions, the Catholic Church, to pay for birth control. Now, we're not going to get into birth control here either way, but we're going to get into this law and this war over Obama and the Catholic Church. Daryl, why are you pointing this out? Because the Bible says that the Antichrist will be in agreement with the great prostitute, the whore of Revelation, the Catholic Church, I believe, until a certain point in the end time, and then they will come against each other with great anger. But the beast will destroy the great whore. The Antichrist will destroy the Catholic Church. It says here, in my estimation and my study of the book of Revelation. Now, don't get upset with me. This is just basically, there's no other organization on the planet that can fulfill those scriptures, being a religious institution right now and a political institution at the same time. The Mormon Church doesn't even come close to this. Now listen, it says, as CBS 2's Marcia Kramer reports, it could affect the presidential elections. I told you it won't, but this is a war. Catholic leaders are furious, and this is Bible prophecy right here, because this is what the Bible says is going to happen. Catholic leaders are furious and determined to harness the voting power of the nation's 70 million Catholic voters to stop a provision of President Barack Obama's new health care reform bill that will force, it's a word, emphasis, force, Catholic schools. See, Obama has been promised a re-election. Obama has been promised to be the king of the hill, the Antichrist of the world. So he can put the laws in, and he's not fearful. He knows he's going to win because it's all rigged. Just like Ron Paul, you watch the videos of the town halls and the elections that are going on with the Republican nomination process, and every person that goes to the mic at these town halls, I'd say a high 90% of them are Ron Paul supporters, yet Ron Paul does poorly in the election because it's rigged. Catholic leaders are furious, it says, that will force Catholic schools, hospitals, and charities to buy birth control pills, abortion-producing drugs, and sterilization coverage for their employees. So Obama is just going, hey, he's been told what to do. Obama's been told what to do. So he's just doing what he's being told to do by the Lucifer worshipers, by the New World Order, by the Illuminati, all right? This is true. This is true. Daryl, just go read the book of Revelation before you ever email me, all right? Now listen here. Never before, unprecedented. Now listen to this paragraph. Never before, I mean, when you hear stuff like this, never before, unprecedented in American history, perk your ears up and realize that this is Bible prophecy. When you hear never before, when writers for CBS use the terminology never before, unprecedented in American history, of course, Obama is unprecedented in American history, destroying the Constitution, coming from a foreign land, hiding who he really is, a non-American citizen becoming a president of the United States of America. It's all never before unprecedented. This is Bible prophecy, being done before our very eyes, according to the book of Revelation, the book of Daniel, etc. Never before, quote, unprecedented in American history